Good afternoon. These are all tough days, and I hope that everybody who's listening to this is doing well, that you're staying healthy, that you're staying strong, and you're staying at home. This message is intended mostly for my Nepali friends, but there are others who are non-Nepalis who might also care a little bit about Nepal and might want to listen as well. 5 years ago next month, a devastating earthquake hit Nepal. 8,000 people plus died, and we all responded with a great outpouring of concern, of sympathy, and of support. A lot of folks were traumatized at the thought that 8,000 of their fellow Nepalis had passed away, that families had been torn apart, that there was this tremendous devastation across the country. Right now, we're preparing for the same thing, whether we recognize it as a disaster or not. COVID-19 is going to be a disaster that tears the fabric of all of our nations to some degree or another. Every day this is on our minds here in America. We're all coping with it, we're all dealing with it, and we're all concerned about it. But for Nepal, we have to have those same concerns, and even more so. Just today, Prime Minister Modi in India has locked down the entire country of India for the next 3 weeks at least. He talked about families being destroyed, being devastated by this disease, and that's absolutely true. And this is the risk that we're going to run in Nepal. If the trend lines hold true, and you've got a population of 30 million people, and if 50% become infected, and if the death rate is only 1%, it's still a huge number. But if it's 1%, we're talking about 150,000 deaths in Nepal, maybe more. Families will be devastated. The economy will be devastated. We know the trauma that this will create. We thought the earthquake was bad, but this is going to be far, far worse. And we need to recognize that, it seems to me. We need to act. When I was ambassador, we talked all the time about risk reduction and preparedness. We knew the disaster was coming, and we knew the time was to act was before it hit, when we could make a difference, when we could save lives, when we could help preserve the future. And that is true today. We're already beginning to reach out and to partner between Engage Nepal and other organizations. We're trying to find ways that we can make that difference. We've got one plan going forward already, working with a partner, the American Nepal Medical Foundation. We hope to be able to put 1,000 testing kits and over 10,000 units of personal protective equipment into Nepal in the short term. This is hugely important, and there are going to be more efforts that are going to be important. Now, if we could put forward tremendous amounts of support for Nepal after the earthquake, I'm asking you to consider, please support us now. Help us to make a difference. Help us to get those test kits out there. Help us to get the protective equipment out there. Help us to begin to save lives and to preserve the future. This isn't going to be a short-term effort. This is something we're going to be doing for some time. We're rethinking our approaches at Engage Nepal to recognize that we're going to have to be focused on the COVID response, if you will. I hope that you will join us. We can't do this alone. We need your help. We need that same sense of urgency that was brought about by the earthquake. But just because this doesn't happen in a heartbeat, it doesn't mean it's not serious, and it doesn't mean it's not going to be an enduring problem, because it is. So please, my friends, I'm going to put a link below this post. I will put a donate button on this post. I hope we can count on you just to get the testing kits and the personal protective equipment to Nepal. To purchase it, to transport it, to get it distributed, it's going to cost us close to $50,000. I'm hoping that Engage Nepal is going to be able to put at least $20,000 towards that effort in partnership with the Nepal Medical Foundation. Join us. Help us. Let's make a difference now, because we'll regret it later if we don't. Thank you. Again, stay home, stay safe, stay healthy. We care about you. Thanks. Bye.